subscribe to Gizmo Times and get notified about our latest videos by hitting the bell icon.
Hey guys, welcome to Gizmo Times. So this is Chetan and this is the quick comparison of the two budget phones, or rather something like two good phones under 10,000 rupees. It's the Infinix S4 versus the Xiaomi Redmi 7. So this is the Infinix S4. With the looks you can say it's quite good, and the company chose to give it a name, the Nebula Blue for the variant. Nebula Blue was something that we saw on the OnePlus 7 Pro as well, but that was quite different from this. And the next one is the Xiaomi Redmi 7. So this is the second phone that we're going to compare this with, and these two actually look quite the same on the back because of the blue color, and the way it gradiates is quite different. But again, the touch hand, the in-hand feel also seems quite same on both the phones. But let's talk about how do they actually differ with. So let's start with the display here. The display on the Infinix S4 is a 6.2-inch display that comes with the 720 to 1520 pixels of screen resolution. That's about HD plus resolution, and this also has the same resolution of 720 to 1520 pixels, but the Redmi 7 has a little bigger screen. That's a 6.26-inch screen size, and the company has here claimed that the Redmi 7 has a Corning Gorilla Glass 5 protection, but that's not been mentioned or claimed by Infinix, so we aren't really sure about the screen protection that the Infinix S4 gets here. With the chipsets that these phones have, the Infinix S4 is powered by the Helio P22 chipset that comes with a 12 nanometer processing, and it is an octa-core chipset. And on the other side, the Xiaomi Redmi 7 comes with the Qualcomm Snapdragon 632 processor, which is quite a decent one. We had seen the same on the Honor 8C as well. So again, if you compare these two, I would say that there's not a lot of difference because both of them have this octa-core chipset, and also the processing here is 12 nanometer versus 14 nanometer. So in a way I would say that the Helio P22 is actually better, but in the daily performance we have seen that these two phones really don't differ that much when it comes to the day-to-day usage, so we can't say that this is better than the other one. So it's Helio P22 versus the Qualcomm Snapdragon 632 on the phones. And now moving on to the next aspect, that is the variants that are available for these phones. So there is a 3 plus 32 option for both of them, and we are talking about that exactly here because although the Redmi 7 has a lower variant as well, but both the variants of 332 are priced exactly at 9,000 rupees. 8,999 for the Infinix S4, 8,999 for the Redmi 7. So that is why we are doing this comparison. And let's move on to the next aspect, that is the camera combination on the back of the phone. You can clearly see that the Infinix S4 comes with a triple rear camera combination, while it's a dual lens camera combination on the Xiaomi Redmi 7. The triple camera combination here includes a 13 megapixel f2.0 camera, that's the primary one. Then there's an 8 megapixel wide angle camera, which is something that you don't really see in the recent days in the budget range at least, and that is the wide angle camera with a 120-degree wide angle view. There's a 2 megapixel depth sensing camera given as well. On the other side, the Xiaomi Redmi 7 comes with a 12 megapixel camera with the f2.2 aperture, and there's a 2 megapixel depth sensing camera. So in a way, depth sensing cameras are quite common for depth sensing, and it all really depends on how good the ISPs and how good the chipset is to actually work with the camera app and help in the depth recognition. So the addition of the wide angle camera here actually helps the Infinix X4 to be better than the Redmi 7. Also, the aperture size of f2.0 on the Infinix S4 is better than the f2.2 on the Xiaomi Redmi 7. So with the camera comparison as well, we tried to take a few shots. In daylight conditions, we saw that both the cameras did quite the same job, but the wide angle lens actually helps on the Infinix S4. In low light conditions again, we saw that the Redmi 7 was a bit more grainier than the Infinix S4's captures, but it's not like that always. There are some instances where the Redmi 7 actually could take better details and also could take better colors as well. So it all is quite dependent on the conditions as well, and we won't say that this is better than that clearly. Now for the selfies, here on the Infinix S4, what was special was a 32 megapixel selfie camera, which is something again you don't see commonly in this price range. This is a 32 megapixel selfie camera on the Infinix S4, and on the other side you see an 8 megapixel selfie camera on the Xiaomi Redmi 7. So we actually could easily say that the Xiaomi Redmi 7 is a loser in this case, or the Infinix S4 is a clear winner when it comes to the selfie camera. And it's not only because of the camera resolution. 32 megapixel, it doesn't really matter. It actually matters when you talk about the resolutions here, but the actual camera quality is better on the Infinix S4. There were more details, and the contrast was well controlled. The colors were well taken by the Infinix S4 when we were trying to take selfies. Next, with the connectivity, both the phones have the dual VoLTE and their dual SIM card connectivity. Also, with the Bluetooth versions, it's Bluetooth 5.0 versus Bluetooth 4.2, where Bluetooth 5.0 is a part of the Infinix S4. With the battery life and the charging speeds, both the phones have the same 4000 mAh battery, and I would say that usually with the Xiaomi Redmi 7 or the Xiaomi Redmi phones, we see that MIUI is quite well optimized to actually give a better battery life. But with the XOS on the Infinix S4, we saw that the battery life was quite the same. The Infinix S4 was actually used for quite a few days thoroughly as a primary phone by one of our editors, and he felt that it was easily giving a battery life of over a day. So with the battery life as well, we can't say there's one clear winner, because both of them did offer quite a good battery life, and the charging speeds are maintained the same. 10-watt charging support is given on both the phones. That's 5A 2A. Also, the chargers that are offered in the box package are the same. That's 10-watt chargers. So there's no difference that way as well. And with the price, as said, it's 9,000 rupees for both the phones. So in case you're someone who's wondering which phone to go with, I'd say if you actually prefer a wide-angle lens camera, you could still go with the Infinix S4. And both have the fingerprint sensor on the back of the device, and they both worked quite well as well. And if you ask me, I would prefer MIUI over XOS, because MIUI is support for a lot of themes, and MIUI has a lot of developers actually who would work and give you better features, and there are actually more features on the MIUI over the XOS. But in the end, if you want that wide angle camera and a better selfie camera, an actually better selfie camera, it's the Infinix S4 that you have to choose over the Xiaomi Redmi 7. So this was the quick comparison of the Infinix S4 and the Xiaomi Redmi 7 smartphones. Design wise, I won't give a clear winner, because it's always your personal choice. Though both of them look good, it's Infinix S4 having a gradient design, and the Redmi 7 has a plain one in comparison to that. So this was all about the quick comparison of the Infinix S4 and the Xiaomi Redmi 7. I hope you like this video. If you do, share and subscribe to Gizmo for more. Thank you for watching, and see you in our next video.